Hello, everybody. Come on in, take a seat, grab a beverage. We are continuing with our coverage on Where is Sebastian Rogers. We've been going back to the beginning with all the interviews and um, videos to see if we've missed anything. I mean, we found out a couple of new things, at least I did, especially in part 19 where there were four parts to it. I think the first time around I might have fallen asleep or clicked out because it was so late or something when I was watching it that I missed a few things. But today, and I don't know how long this one is, it may end up being a couple of parts as well. So, but today we're going to hear Katie and Chris with Smiley's Stories World. So, without any further ado, I'm going to present my screen and we are going to get started. And, you know, she put live at the request of Chris Proudfoot. And this video was taken the same day, was done on the same day as Seth's video with Nancy Grace, Seth's interview with Nancy Grace. It was March 20th of this past year. So let's go ahead and start.
Okay, so y'all can grab that link. I had to drop it in the chat because I'm sorry I don't know how to send it to the phone or to the messenger. So there it is right there. Everybody in chat, I'm going to ask you to be polite. Just let me get through this, please. And I appreciate you all being here. Chris told me he wanted to come on here, so okay. Okay. All right. Can you just show me your face? You can cover it back up if you will. I mean, I know it's really you, but because you called, but can you just show me your face and then you can put your screen back down if you want to before you go up. It says, oh, the device is not connected. That's what it's showing. Device is not connected. It might take a minute because the device is not connected. All right, I sent another link. I don't know if they have to go out and come back in or what, but the device is not connected. It's not showing connected. Okay, are you there now? Can you show me your face? Oh, there you are. Thank you. Okay, I see Katie. Hold on. Hi.
Hello.
Okay. I'm kind of surprised, but thank you and welcome for coming up here. I appreciate that. How are you feeling today?
Pretty terrible, to be honest with you. 24 days in, and there's a bunch of horrible things being said and a bunch of misinformation being spread, and my son is still missing. And so it's horrible. There's not a better word for it, to be honest with you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm glad you come up here, and I will. I asked my chat to please be respectful, and I will let you say what you feel. And you know, again, I wasn't expecting this, but you're more than welcome to say what you feel. And if it's okay, you know, I would like to ask some questions, but I would like to talk about Sebastian, and you know, maybe we could just start there. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I think Chris is still trying to join as well.
Okay. I didn't know if he was, I didn't know.
A lot of people are accusatory when we speak. It's a lie. Oh, it's not us. And
Yeah.
The
Well,
truth is no matter what any of y'all think, I didn't do anything to my son. My husband didn't do anything to my son. We love him dearly, and we are doing everything that we can to try and find him and bring him home. And his father loves him dearly as well.
hmm well, there's a lot of questions that people have and a lot of what ifs. And, I know sometimes it's tough. I mean, I've seen a lot of cases like this, and I know, I, you know, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Let me say that. I would not want to be in your shoes.
I wouldn't want
Um,
anybody to have to be in my shoes, to be honest with you. It's nothing any parent should ever have to go through.
right, right. Um, you know, I've seen in my own family, I've actually had a runaway and I ended up murder, and I know it's not the same. It's not my child. Although I have lost a child, and this is not about me, it's about Sebastian. But I will tell you, nobody should have to sit in your shoes. There's not words that I can say. But also, I do have an autistic son, and I know many do. I'm going to drop her link again. I'm dropping it again. I think she's having a bad signal. I don't know where she's at. She may be where she can't get the signal good.
Okay, guys, while they're waiting for that signal, I just wanted to come on here and say that I'm kind of surprised with Katie the way she came out. She's pretty upset, right? I mean, she's upset that um, people are being accusatory and that kind of thing. And she comes right out and says that she didn't do anything to her son. Her husband didn't do anything to her son. Um, and but she won't come on camera. Um, you know, I hope that's true. I mean, I really do, but I know that a lot of people have questions. You know, we know that there's evidence that he did not walk out of that house. Katie was there. So we have questions, right? We have questions. And if she was the last person to see him, then she's the one that's got the answers. That's my thought and my opinion.
Here she is back. Okay, Katie. Okay, there you go. Sorry about that. And you may have a bad signal somewhere. I don't know if you're having like rain or anything, but it keeps going in and out, but that's okay. But anyway, the main thing is people just have a lot of questions and just trying to make sense of everything. And you're here. Okay, Chris, I'm dropping the link again. I told nobody not to get it but you. Here you go, sir. Oh, drop again. Sorry. There you go. If you'll just click on that. But I do, still with anything that we personally go through, there's nothing, it's not the same. And I understand that. And so I am very sorry. I'm very sorry for you all three of you. I can feel when his dad talks, Seth, I can feel that pain. And it's just different. I'm not trying again to accuse, like I said, anybody. I'm just trying to make sense of everything. And that's all I can say. I can't be fake. I have to be honest.
Well,
So
it's your opinion and you're entitled to it, obviously, but I can tell you that the pain that his father and I, and even my husband, are feeling right now is immeasurable, to be honest with you. And I have Never in my life would I have ever dreamed that this would be a reality.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think anybody ever thinks this will happen to them. Hey, Chris.
Hey,
Yeah, you surprised me calling me. You surprised me calling me, but I'm glad I could bring you on and you know, hopefully, talk about this. A lot of people's just interested. I know it's irritating and um I know it's irritating. Me included. I know I am too, but we're just all there's no we all have opinions and there's no stone we can leave unturned. We have to think outside the box. And I know it's irritating to y'all. I know it's irritating to everybody. But we all want Sebastian found. And I just told Katie, we just have to go with we all have our opinions and they may not always be good, but my heart's in the right place. But go ahead and I'll let you start or whatever you want to do.
so there's Tom too. Do me a favor. I got to drop out of this. I got to make a phone call real quick, and I will be back. This is one
Okay.
call. I don't
Okay.
care. I don't miss this phone call because it's my daughter.
No, you go
I will
ahead.
come
Go
back
ahead.
and hang tight. Give me about 5-10 minutes. I'll be right back.
You're fine. You're fine. We'll be here.
Is that
Yeah.
good?
You're okay. Hold on.
Hello?
That's me. I'm gonna knock you off for a minute. You just come back when you're ready. Okay. So I think he's on mute. Okay. So
And
Katie,
that'll clarify that side of the question everybody's been asking. No, he does not have a restraining order from his daughter. He speaks to her, just to go ahead and clear that one out, because I know there's been a lot of talk about that as well.
yeah. So I mean, he still speaks to her on the phone, as y'all see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our little girl is precious and loved, just like Sebastian.
Yeah. So somebody's wanting to know, that question's come up a couple of times, and I don't mean to be rude. I'm just going to ask that. I have saw it like, do y'all, do you not call her y'all's daughter since y'all call him y'all's son?
We do, and a lot of people are reading into it. It's just how we talk. Our boy, our girl, my son, my daughter, his son, his daughter. I mean, they're our children, but our children also have other parents as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of our children have more than just two parents.
Yeah. And I know you probably have been asked this on several channels. Y'all have been on several channels. Is there a reason that Chris hasn't seen him since? I know it had to do with the work, but why did he say he hadn't seen Sebastian since the 1st of February?
Because that's the truth. He hadn't seen him since the beginning of February.
I mean, is there a reason for that?
He's working 3.5 hours away. He don't come home after work.
So was he, I mean, and I'm just wondering, was he gone for like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks or something like that?
He'd been gone since the beginning of February was the last time he was actually home. Christopher was actually home. And yes, he did see Sebastian when he come home.
Okay.
It's just part of it when you work away, you see each other when
Yeah.
you can. But he doesn't it's a lot to travel back and forth all the time. Like, that's not a trip that you can make, to and from every day by any means.
So, of course not. That's not a trip that you make every day, right? 3.5 hours, whatever it is. But what about the weekends? What about the weekends? Why wouldn't he be able to come home on the weekend? 3.5 hours if he left Friday after work, get there and then he wouldn't have to leave until Sunday night. What about that? Just my thought.
Well, I get that. That's not something you want to do every day. That would take up your whole time. But did he never come home on the weekends, like when you had Sebastian or anything like that?
Well, yeah, that's why he saw him in the beginning of February, but it wasn't every weekend.
Okay.
Because he works on weekends too a lot, so he can't just come home every weekend. But when he can, he does. He comes home and sees him. Because
Yeah.
they have a pretty good relationship.
Did he talk on the phone with Sebastian while he was at work?
He does. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Um,
He wants to see if you can drop the link again. I think it
oh,
got
okay.
deleted in chat.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Here we go.
But
Paste.
no, they talk regularly.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go.
A lot of people have their opinions, but Sebastian's got a good bond with both dads.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to make sure I drop it again because I want to make sure he sees it. I'm not fancy like everybody else, so I just need to make sure get it down there. That's what I was doing, was watching to see if he was coming. Oh, there he is. Oh, watch it over here. Okay, I'm watching over there. Okay, so where do you want to start at, Chris? I was just asking little simple questions, or whatever about your work and stuff. Like, did you talk to Sebastian and stuff like that? But basically, I know it's a 3.5 hour drive. You was at work. Is there a reason that okay, so are you working now, or are you just taking off or anything like that, like for a certain amount of time?
So is this to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you asking me that, or is one of your people?
No, I'm asking you that. I just wondered.
Okay.
Like, if I was just wondering, like, if you, like, are you, in fact, I'll turn my chat off for just a minute so I don't get preoccupied.
Don't turn your chat off. Leave it on. It's fine.
Okay.
That way you can get all these questions coming in, because like I said, I told you, I gave you my word. I'd come on your show. I would answer questions. People ask the questions, but keep in mind, like I told y'all from the very beginning, I'm brash, I'm direct, but I'm respectful, and I ask for the same in everybody else.
Yeah, and I told them a while ago, just please be respectful, because I wasn't expecting this. Like, please be respectful, y'all, because
So one thing right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, really irks me with some of these folks that want to follow these YouTube, and I'm very honest about this.
Okay, so he has said this before. He's brash, but he's very respectful. Well, guys, you cannot be both. It doesn't work that way. The definition of brash is self-assertive in a rude, noisy, or overbearing way. So how can you be respectful in a rude, noisy, or overbearing way? And I will give it to him. He has been brash, but not respectful, because respectful is totally different. My opinion.
Somebody says I won't talk to men. It's not that I don't want to talk. Right. It's not that I don't want to talk to men. I have talked to more law enforcement men agencies in the past 24 days than I've probably ever talked to my entire life. Same thing goes for women. So no, I don't have a problem talking to a man or talking to a woman. I appreciate everybody's assumptions or concerns, innuendos, whatever they want to be. But at the same time, I vet who I talk to. I'm not just going to open up and talk to anybody. And I will put this out there. JLR, everybody wants me to talk to this guy. Explain to me, Smiley, you probably have a better understanding of this. Explain to me why I should talk to JLR.
I just really wish you would, because he does go out everywhere, and he wants the truth. I mean, and he may not get the truth out of you, but I have seen him literally go in places deep, like scary places, and like really just try to get the truth, and try to like follow people that's just taking him in the woods or whatever, show him places, whatever, that he didn't know from Adam. He goes from one place to another. He may be on a plane to Mexico. Next time he might be in California, whatever. And, I mean, he's grown a lot. I just think a lot of people don't give him a chance. That's just my honest opinion.
Right. Do you know why people don't want to give this man a chance?
Well, go ahead and tell me. I mean, I want your opinion.
So I'm going to tell you my personal opinion.
Okay.
Okay. This is my personal opinion. This is nobody else's, not my wife's, not anybody else's, my personal opinion.
Okay.
So I did my due diligence, and I read up on Jonathan Lee Rich. Excuse me. I've read up on him. Not necessarily the best character in the world. When you start reading and the first thing comes up, everything that you can find on this individual. Now, I don't know him, Adam from Eve. I really don't. He don't know me, Adam from Eve. But when he opens his mouth and goes out there and starts spreading lies, and yes, lies, because unless you got hardcore evidence that I'm an abusive husband, abusive father, I've got a restraining order against me, unless you got proof, don't open your mouth, because it's real simple. I don't have any of that. Good luck finding it. I've never lied to y'all. I've been open and honest. People don't like my answers, so people want to come back with their own assumptions. And I'm so sorry that I can't open up and give you every little piece of evidence and every little detail that we know. I am terribly sorry. It sucks, because when it does and it can come out, my only question to everybody else is, when are you going to start issuing public apologies? That's not to you. That is to everybody that wants to come out and badmouth people that don't understand and don't have a clue what's going on. And I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, I can understand that. But let me ask you this.
Yes,
If somebody has over 100,000 people, why do you care what their past is or what they say if they can help you get Sebastian's name out?
So when you and I'll be honest with you, I've heard some of yours, and the toxicity that comes out of what you guys projected about me has only toxified everybody else that puts in a lead or says, well, check out the stepfather, do this, do that, call law enforcement, check this out, do this. You take a body, every time something gets reported, a body comes away from the investigation to vet because they are required to do so. And it sucks because the same answers are the same across the board. Why they won't come out and tell in the public eye, hey, all three parents have been completely vetted. All three parents have been, questioned. All of this. Why they won't come out and say it? I understand to a point. I do. But it sucks at the same time because it's extremely hurtful that me, my wife, and Seth have to live in this life. Even when this is over, however it ends, we have to live this life, not everybody else.
Quite frankly, Sebastian's going to find out what everybody's been saying about his parents, and I can't even imagine how distraught he's going to be, but we have to find him.
I mean, and it sucks.
Yeah, you have to find him, and that's the most important thing.
Yes.
The rest is going to fall into place later, but the most important thing is he has to be found, and he has to be found regardless, period.
I want to just side note, he's not clapping, y'all.
He's not what?
People keep saying that he's clapping. He's not clapping. That's just background noise.
Oh, I don't hear any. Yeah, y'all.
Some people have heard they're clapping, and that's fine. Yes, I'm currently working.
Yeah, y'all
Now,
don't.
where understand people, where I work is really nobody's business. And I would hope you would respect that, because I'm not this criminal. I'm not this monster that everybody wants to believe. But I do believe in privacy and respect, and it goes both ways.
Yeah, I don't feel anybody should be going to anybody's job or anything like that. No, I don't.
Okay, so I agree with Smiley that nobody should be going to anybody's job, anything like that. I agree with that. You know, we need to let law enforcement do their job. But when Chris is talking about he wants respect, well, he needs to give it. You know, he's, honestly, he's been up in people's face, talking brash, but not being respectful, because you cannot be both at the same time. Okay. Um, and if he would just be calm and talk to people respectfully instead of being so defensive, you know, people, you know, that is human nature. They will look at things and they will look at a person who's being brash, who's being defensive, and at some points being downright mean, rude, and they're going to make a judgment on you. And then they're going to wonder, well, why are you acting this way? Right? So sometimes you have to look, I think all of us have been in a situation where we've maybe opened our mouths and, you know, looking back on it, it's like, wow, I I should not have said that, and you know, I deserved what I got coming to me, right? Um, in certain situations, And I will say that what Seth and Chris and Katie are going through has got to be the worst thing. But Chris isn't making it easy on himself or Katie. It's my opinion. It if he had been different from the get-go, things might have looked differently, you know. I don't know. We can't say, because this is where we are today. All right, let's continue.
I don't feel anything like that. But as far as JR, I mean, that's up to you who you speak with or anything like that. I do appreciate you holding up to your bargain, speaking to me. Some of the harder questions, it has
Ask
nothing
him.
to do with you, but I'm just saying, as far as all that has nothing to do with you. It's just a matter of how I put it to every case that I care about, and there's no reason to be angry about it. It's just something, whether it's me, you, or whoever, and that happens to. Look, I had a grandson that went missing for a couple of hours here not very long ago, back last year, and I know how that feels. And we can sit and say this happened, this happened, this one, and this one don't know, and whatever. But I'm very passionate about these. I've been through a lot of tragedies that a lot of these people that are my subs don't know that I've been through, and a lot I have told them. But I understand mine is not yours. I understand that, but I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate about Sebastian, and I do have to ask these questions, and they're questions you don't like. And whether you're in here,
No, it's not that I don't like them. I don't want anybody to start thinking that there's not questions I don't like. I've told y'all from the very beginning I welcome all of your questions. The only thing is because of an ongoing investigation, there are certain things that we are not and have been told by law enforcement do not get into specifics because it could jeopardize the investigation. People don't like that, and I am sorry. I'm speaking for myself. I'm not going to speak for my wife. I'm not going to speak for Sebastian's father, Seth, his mother, his sister, or anybody for that matter. But I do welcome the hard questions. I do,
well,
and I'm okay with it. And for the record, I don't have a problem talking with JLR or anybody else. Now, if you're one of these shows that are for profit, you want to talk, you go out and publicly announce it publicly that any money that you make on the show, as long as me and my wife are involved, that money gets directly posted to signs, flyers, or billboards to help find our son. I'll do it. But if it's for personal gain, it ain't happening.
yeah, I just went out today. I mean, I take money off my own stuff. I just went out today and got a bunch of flyers, and I suggested with because Seth wanted. I heard him on another show, but anyway, I suggested same thing I did with Summer Wells. Every time you mail something out, get it in the mail, send it out with bills, send it to whoever you write to, do whatever. I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about boots on the ground, going out, handing out the flyers. I don't care if they get thrown in the trash, whatever, 5 minutes later. They see the picture, they see the photo. As long as they see and say, and take a glance at it, there is a chance for me that to remember something, say something, whatever. And, but nobody is going to dictate my money, because let me tell you something. I've been in this for, 3 years now, banging my head against the wall, being called everything, drug here, drug there, with this stupidity stuff, doing Summer Wells, and not ask for a penny. And I figured, well, if you can't beat them, join them. Meaning, first I did it to put my Cash App up for a point one day, and then I took it back down. And the next thing, I'm just like, no. They're like, you need to monetize. I'm like, you're right. I'm going broke. Trying to just keep the word out or whatever. Like somebody just gave me $10. I spent that today in gas and going and getting flyers.
Okay. So that got her a little riled up, right? I have been hearing this a lot lately, where there have been comments made about creators who make a profit off of reporting on somebody, right? Well, okay, so I don't get that, because there are people out there like CJ, JLR. They're using their funds to get out their boots on the ground. The other thing is why do people have a problem with reporting or using their platform to bring awareness to a missing child? Why? When you're going to dictate, like Chris did, that if you're going to give all the funds from that show, to putting out flyers or whatever, well, people should want to do that out of their own heart. It shouldn't be dictated to. And people do not realize that it costs money to run a platform. And it takes a long time to get to where you're monetized on YouTube. So, you're spending your money up until that point. Come on. I don't understand. So, I guess that got me riled up because, I've heard that over and over and over again lately, and it really irritates me that they talk about keyboard warriors profiting off this their son, this person, that person. If they want awareness brought, then don't worry about whatever. If somebody is using their platform like I am to raise awareness to Sebastian, then why would you negate that? I just feel that is wrong on so many levels.
And doing whatever just on Sebastian. That's where I know you just said that. So
right, but that you're not monetizing on. You're utilizing it
right.
to do something to put it forward.
Right.
If those people who want to pocket money, on the other hand, I'm not about pocket. I'm not lining your pockets.
Right. No, and I get that.
I'm going to be very respectful because I don't want to say it like I would normally say it, but I tell everybody. Well, no, because if there are some folks that don't like cussing.
Well,
but understand something, and I'm respectful about it because I'm being positive here. But if you don't feed me, finance me, or sleep with me, I don't owe anything to anybody at that point.
Well, I think we kind of think a lot there, and
See?
I don't. Yeah, I agree there, and that brings me to say, hey, you should not care what people think. But JLR, back to him again. And I hate to keep bringing him up because you're on here and I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And I want
to that's fun, isn't it?
Not JLR, but what I want to say is one other thing you have to take in consideration, him going to all these places, not just to help Sebastian, but all these other people. That's not free. You've got to remember that's not free. So I'm just saying.
Right, but if I'm on his show, we're talking about my son's case.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. There is a situation of my son, not everybody else's. And I know he's doing his thing, and I appreciate it. What I don't appreciate is some of the stuff he does put out there that when I've asked the guy, I said, do you have proof? Do you have physical evidence that I am anything what you say?
Right.
And he doesn't. So then keep my name out of your mouth.
Right.
It's real simple.
And then you don't want him, like if he does this, because he's there now, so you don't want him. And I don't know, I'm not going to talk to him on the phone or anything. I don't do that. But I just like what he does. But so I'm just asking because he'll hear this. So are you, and you don't want him to monetize on that, he's talking about your son, correct?
Yeah, if he's going to monetize, take that money, go buy flyers, go buy yard signs, put it on the billboards.
Okay, all right.
I mean, and that's fair. I'm asking. He wants me on the show. That's fine. Then I want a public acknowledgement that you're going to donate every dollar that you make off of my son's show to finding him.
Okay,
that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. And I get that. Now, can I say one other thing? Because
yes, ma'am.
Before we kind of get started, the only reason is because fair is fair. And I want to say this. And I said I would treat you fair, and I will. I try to treat everybody. I do try to treat everybody. Now, whether I have opinions or I don't, none of that matters. Okay. But I want to say this. Like my heart really hurts for Seth. It really does. It hurts for you. It hurts for Katie. It hurts for everybody because no matter what happened. Now listen, no matter what happened, don't jump on me yet. I'm not finished with my statement.
Oh, I'm not. You're fine.
If it was an accident, if it was he walked off, if he crawled, if it was, no matter what it was.
Right.
I feel for everybody. Okay, I feel for everybody, but this is just it's insane. It's insane. I feel for Seth, but I feel for all of you, but I can feel his pain so much more. But what I feel for is I do feel for his mom, and I'm going to say this: when she said, she said, "Can y'all stop or ask Chris to stop saying that that's his son because it's not, and it kills Seth, even though he don't say anything." I just wanted to say what you had to say about that.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm a stepdad to a 15-year-old young man. Okay. I came in Sebastian's life roughly, he was like 7, 8-ish. And I helped raise him, and I still help raise him. And I have a daughter, since everybody wants to know, who lives with my ex-wife out in New Mexico. Her mother has another man that lives with her. Now, whether or not they're married, I don't know. That's not my business personally. Okay.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, they were not married, but my daughter refers to him as daddy. Now, what does a child calling a person got to do with anything? Because as long as a child is being correctly raised and not hurt and loved, then what does it matter? He's my stepson. He does not call me dad. He does not call me father. He doesn't say it. He calls me Mr. Chris. I have always left that open for him. He does not have to call me anything he does not want to, except for late for dinner, because that ain't happening.
Right. Right. Okay.
Even Seth calls Chris his dad, his stepdad.
Right.
So his mother has her opinions,
Yeah.
and that's that.
You know, and unfortunately, I hate that family disputes. And I don't care if what it is. When something in your life becomes so publicized and it's so dramatic, people find a way to turn and find ways to just make it the worst thing even worse. Just because, and it sucks. It truly sucks.
I personally think we should all be working together to find Sebastian, because Sebastian is an awesome person who deserves to be home.
Katie, let me ask you, the night of Sunday night, when you said there was a noise, what type of noise do you think that was that you heard?
I'm not honestly sure. It sounded like he was messing with stuff in his room, which was not uncommon, which is why I said, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but you're supposed to go to sleep."
Okay. So you didn't check on him at that time, but did you check on him at midnight? Did you flip the light on and look to see if he was in the bed at midnight when you got up to go to bed?
No, and because I didn't have any reason to. You know, when he was little, I used to check on him all the time, but he's older now and he's 15, and y'all can figure out why a mother may not want to necessarily pop into a teenage boy's room unexpectedly.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, when Seth said that when he came, that everything was in pristine condition except for his room. Like, I know that the LE was there, and he said that the LE was there. Well, I mean, what did he mean by that? Was that just like the bed was unmade, or where you looked under things, or was it like what did he mean by that?
Sebastian's room is always a little bit messy, but even more so with all the people coming in, all the law enforcement coming in and looking through things, me looking through things, like everybody was searching everything.
So I have a question then real quick. So
Yeah.
you're asking that question. Is that because there's somebody's trying to insinuate that we tried to cover something up because the house was clean? Or,
No.
I
It's
mean,
just
and please understand why I'm asking that question, because whether my house is dirty or clean really doesn't matter. But okay, I'm just trying to understand this.
okay. Well, I'll explain it to you. It's
Okay.
because I have a son that is autistic. He's 28 now, but I know it's all different types of children on the autism spectrum, but they like stuff in order. And so I was just wondering, um, like I was just trying to think back, and I'm just wondering, like, what did Seth mean by that? Like, was it just because the bed was messed up? And then I know the cop, like doing these cases and stuff, I know the cops. So I mean, it's not like you have to get paranoid that I ask you that. It's just I was asking that because I was thinking back on things, not only personally, but because I was just trying to make sense of, and then when Katie said, well, it was just his room's out of order and stuff, I'm just thinking, well, some kids, maybe they do, if they're autistic, I don't know. I just asked that question. When I ask
So
questions, I just listen. Let me just tell you this: when I ask questions, you don't have to necessarily look. I'm not the police, okay? And you don't have to worry about how I ask questions. It's just I also work for a retention center for 11 years, and it was my job to retain people and think outside the box. And that's what I do. It's a habit. So there's
right.
that.
So me asking that question back is
Mhm.
because you've got a lot of viewers. I'm not saying your viewers. So let's make that super clear so that viewers don't get that construed with anything. But there's so many people out there with their insinuations, and because you asked that question, it would not surprise me to see a comment, well, that's because they cleaned the house before the cops got there. Trust me, we have seen it all, heard it all. People are putting stuff out there that is completely obtuse from the truth, and it is ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
why I asked that question.
Yeah. Well, you can ask me anything you want. I mean, I don't mind explaining why I asked. I just don't want you to think I'm asking things in nefarious ways. I'm just simply asking. I'm trying to think because I have been sitting here thinking for days, and I have my own things, and sometimes they have not been good. I'll just be straight up honest with you because I'm not going to be fake and try to hide anything or whatever. You said yourself you've seen things that I said. I was not too happy the other night when somebody took my question and asked you, and that was a personal question when you said and I didn't like how you answered it, to be frank with you. I didn't.
What did I say? Do you remember what it was, please?
It was something about I was pretty hurt about that myself, and I didn't like that because you knew it was coming, but I didn't ever expect it was coming from somebody else, but they did that because they was butthurt at me anyway. But that's okay. It's okay. It's not about me fighting with anybody else. It's about Sebastian here. And I just didn't. I just felt some kind of type of way because it's the way you answered it, and you already had it in your private messages. But none of that matters. What matters is Sebastian, and I want to know. Tell me, Chris. Can you tell me about the snake? Tell me about the snake. Why did you get rid of the snake, or y'all got rid, or decided together, or tell me about the snake? I
Okay,
understand
so right.
more.
So to answer your question about the snakes, I'll start at the beginning of the snakes. So long time ago, I actually used to breed reptiles, snakes, gargoyle, reptile, all kinds of stuff. You name it, just about reptiles. I used to breed it. Love reptiles, one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
In California, we actually had a snake. They had a bearded dragon. It died.
Mm-hmm.
But we wound up getting a snake. Well, Sebastian liked it.
They is me and Bubba. We had a beardy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah. But we had a Samontine boa. Sebastian liked the idea of having a snake. Well,
Oh, he loved that thing.
he's never had one that was his snake, his own snake.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, when I do something, I go all in. I don't half-ass do it. So, I purchased. However, I've got friends that are in that world still that are in that business, and we all chit chat. And And I wind up coming across, basically I had like about 30 snakes at one given time.
Mhm.
All of them were ball pythons. I
Mhm.
I didn't have anything retic. I didn't have anything massive, poisonous, or anything like that. Well, Sebastian was infatuated with one of the snakes that one of the breeders I deal with had. And it's the picture that the snake that you see in the picture that's wrapped around his arm. That
Yeah.
is his personal pastel ball python named Brownie. That is his personal snake. He loved them. The downside, like it got to a point with work, with mom's work, my work, and I told Sebastian, I said, you know, having a snake means responsibilities. You're going
Mhm.
to clean it. You're going to have to feed it. You're going to water it. You're going to do all that stuff.
And he
If you
actually
don't,
did.
He what, Katie?
I said, and he did for a little while.
And then he stopped.
yeah. And
Yeah.
and parenting is, and I think everybody understands this. When you're a parent, you're not your kid's best friends. You're not. That's not what your job is. Your job is to be a parent. And I told Sebastian, if you don't, she's gone. And he thought I was kidding. Nope. So when I got rid of one, I got rid of them all. Now, when I say got rid of them, a friend of mine, local in Nashville, he got them because he's a good breeder, great guy. And he's like, if you ever want him, come get him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, man, appreciate it. But right now, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So right now, we're not just hang tight with him. So we got rid of the snakes.
So did his dad not want him, or you couldn't take him to his dad's or anything?
Okay. I'm kind of curious about that, guys. So, um I'm trying to think. We never bought a pet, I guess, for our kids. Actually had a pet shop for a while, so we probably had enough from that. But um I don't know that I would have given the pet away. I mean, yes, should Sebastian have taken care of it? Of course. But I think then if he stopped taking care of it, well, then isn't there some other positive reinforcement you can do to get him to take care of the snake? Because, the animal has to be taken care of, right? The reptile, who you want to call it. I don't like snakes, so, but I'm just trying to think of this from Sebastian's point of view and from a parenting point of view. Um, you know, Tell me in the comments what you would do as a parent. Has any of you ever taken and given away a, a pet that you purchased for your child? I'm just really curious because I don't know if that's what I would do.
Anything so he could see them when they're there? I just wondered.
No, his
Well,
dad couldn't take him.
well, his dad wasn't going to take 30 snakes. I mean, because 30 snakes, you're talking a big old rack, um, all kinds of stuff. I mean, and you've got to deal with the food, which is going to be rats and things like that. People,
Yeah.
people, people don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a question. I mean, I know I wouldn't. It's just a question. It was a question because I wondered, like, I could tell in the picture he really liked it. So that was one of his, pets, and so I just wondered. Um,
I mean,
like,
to this day, I call him my buddy.
mhm.
If Sebastian wants to go, I can call him up. We'll head over to his snake, his big old snake. He's got a building full of them, and that's where ours are. And
Yeah,
he's like, "You want to see him? Just come on over, man. Whatever, just call me up." Cool.
yeah,
I mean, it's
It wasn't like he would never get to see it again. It was just
right. Lessons have to be taught. I'm a very firm believer, it is what it is. Is it always gone forever? No, not necessarily. But you're going to earn it back. It's not just going to be handed to you.
How did you discipline him since he, how did you discipline?
Sebastian in general?
Yeah.
Well, that depends. The punishment has to fit the crime, so to speak. I'll give you an example. Cleaning his room, and people are going to make me sound like I'm so horrible, but I promise you, folks, you try this with your kids one time, and you won't ever have a problem with this again. So if you tell them to clean their room, and they go in there and they clean their room, well, they say come out, well, it's clean, and you go in there and you go to check their room, and the room's not clean. Okay. Thought I told you to clean this room. You told us the room is clean, did you not? Well, yes, sir. Okay. Now I'm going to clean your room. And you know exactly what that means. I go in and I go grab a trash bag. I walk back in that bedroom. If it's on the floor and it's not supposed to be on the floor, it's not picked up and put in the right places, goes in the trash bag. If it's not important enough for you to take care of and pick up, I'll take care of it for you. Throw in the trash bag.
Okay. Now, that's wrong. So, I don't agree with Chris's parenting methods. And I am amazed that Katie doesn't stand up to him. So, first of all, there are other positive ways that you can get your child to clean up. There are other things that you can do. I remember that my youngest daughter had ADHD. If you don't know what that is, it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Okay. When she was diagnosed with that, I went to the library. I got every book I could find on it because that was back before the internet. I wanted to know how I could help my child. Okay. And I'm sure it's the same. I had to do different things with her to discipline her. I couldn't just treat her the way I could my oldest daughter. I had to do different things. Was I always right? No, I absolutely was not. I made mistakes just like anybody else. But what I'm saying is that you do things because of that child's I don't want to say disability because attention deficit isn't a disability condition, I guess. Autism, I don't look at that as a disability condition. Yeah. So I don't agree. First of all, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face because everything that's on that floor, if it's clothing, it's going to have to be replaced at some point. I just disagree with that wholeheartedly. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Tie it up. I've done this to him twice. One time, Mom talked me out of it. The other time, Sebastian, here's the bag. Go put it in the trash can. And then you're going to take the trash can to the street. And after that, Sebastian, did you clean your room? Well, your mom told you to clean your room. Did you clean the room? Yes or no? Well, yes, sir. Is it clean the way it's supposed to be? Well, no, sir. Then I suggest you go back in there and clean it, or I'm coming in there in the next 10 minutes and I'm cleaning. Yes, sir. Hauls butt to that bedroom, and by God, that room It's clean the way it's supposed to be. Now, it sounds crazy, but I promise you try it with your kids, man, your kids will be like, oh my God, they ain't kidding. It works amazing.
Do you feel like
Okay. So since this interview come out, at some point, Seth got a hold of some DCS records, and he's not going to share them. I'm pretty sure he can't legally, but his comment was that these two should not be parents, kind of saying it in a nice way, right? Okay. Knowing that there's DCS records, you guys, how many of you parents have ever had, child services come to your door? I never did. Okay. I think the average person doesn't. It's really troubled homes that end up having that happen to them. I've never had child services come to my door, and I'm going to stand here and say right now that I would not ever take parenting advice from Chris. I'm sorry.
that he was ever a burden at all on you or your relationship, either one of you?
Was my stepson a burden in my marriage?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. The burden, so what has always been a struggle, and anybody who's married and has, you're a step parent, okay, that struggle of
That's
being
a
able
struggle.
to, yes, very much. And then you've got discipline on top of it, and, what you can do, what you can't do, because you've got the other parent and this parent. That's always a struggle. When you can get on the same page with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and finally everybody understands it,
Right.
man, it is a beautiful picture. Beautiful. Now, am I saying everything's sunshine and rainbows? No, it's not.
Right.
But it ain't high tides and tsunamis either.
So if you and his mom ever argued, and that's in every marriage, like, would Sebastian ever jump between y'all?
Like physically?
Yeah.
No.
We don't fight and yell and scream or any of that like violent type stuff. We tend to take it behind closed door in our bedroom and have a conversation because the children should never be exposed to that. That's between us, not them.
And first off, like this, I'm going to make this real clear, crystal clear. I was always raised, you never strike a woman. And
But
I have taught that to Sebastian. You will never strike a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
And I'm not accusing you of so, but again, Seth has said that Katie, and again, I'm sorry, Katie, that that again there was a time, and this is a long. People can change, but again, it's been said that Katie has struck Seth, and that again, that's a long time. I wasn't there, so
no.
And I wasn't there either, for the record. So
maybe Katie should answer this. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that, oh Lord, no, that is a whole nother thing that happened back then.
Yeah. Well, that's what brought me to my question. So I was just wondering if, Sebastian stepped in. And then I had heard at another place where Seth had said Sebastian would step in. And I didn't even know if he was talking about that or not, because I heard about that separate, that Sebastian would step in and say, don't do this to my dad or whatever. And he could be talking about something totally different. But, again, I have to think all kinds of things in my head. So did Sebastian have tantrums at all? And
When
this is
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a kid. I mean, it's even when I came in the picture. I mean, his tantrums were pretty bad. I mean, to the point. I mean, he. So I'm not. I'm not dragging Seth, his mom, his sister, my wife. I'm not dragging people through the mud. So what is in the past is the past, and that really needs to die. And I'm saying that for everybody to hear, to include all parties involved with this situation. The past is the past. It needs to die. Let it be. But
they
at
keep
the
saying
same
who's
time,
Rachel. So they keep saying who's Rachel. So you want to answer that before you tell them to let the
yes,
past
yes.
die?
Okay. So I got no problem. Rachel is my
That
third.
intrigued me. I didn't know about Rachel. So
No. So here, let me. I'll make this easy for you. So I've been married 5 times. I'm on my fifth wife, and she's going to say you're final. So let me make that clear. She's probably going to yell at me later that I didn't say final. But I've been married 5 times. Okay. First time, her name was Vanessa. Second time, her name was Stephanie. Third time, her name is Rachel. Fourth time, her name is Nina. And I'll gladly answer any questions in any of my marriage. Out of the 4 ex-wives, 3 of them to this day, I can actually pick up the phone, call, and we can have conversations. That's how good it is.
okay.
My 4th ex-wife, which is the one I have with my daughter, sometimes we can have cordial conversations, sometimes we cannot. I will make that positive, and leave that there. That's why we go to court.
They keep saying something about the story of Rachel. What is the story of Rachel?
The story of Rachel.
Maybe how y'all met and how long did y'all, I don't know, I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing about Rachel because I haven't dug in that deep into anything. I don't know. Like, how long was y'all married maybe, and how was your relationship? Do y'all have any kids? I don't know.
No,
I'm just
no. I have one biological child in this.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm speechless. You guys. Trying to make sure that I say things correctly. But honestly, Chris's 4 other wives do not have anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian, unless Sebastian is with one of them. There's no, correlation. So this is, in my opinion, this part of the interview is stupid because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he cheated on his 4th wife with Katie. That all that doesn't matter. I saw that in this chat, by the way. So all that doesn't matter. And so what I've been looking at with this interview is it's going to be another at least probably 3 to 4 parter again. This is going to be a long one. And I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. You can disagree with me. I just ask for you to be respectful and not brash, because you cannot be brash and respectful at the same time, no matter what Chris says. Sorry, Chris. It's not possible. So, I just ask that you remain respectful. I don't care if you disagree with me. That doesn't bother me. But we don't show hate on our channel. So I guess we'll continue this the second half of this on the next one, right? And thank you guys so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.